One issue that I have, we don't eat like our ancestors. I think this is a major problem. And in fact, I want to tell you a little story recently. I'm constantly looking at this stuff online, right? And I think this is why you might been able to like get like good value from my videos. Because more than being like a guy who makes these YouTube videos, I'm literally a guy who's on self-improvement, who like I spend all of my time just improving my life. I like it. Honestly, people think it's like a weird, sad life where you're so invested into improving your health. I think it's a weird, sad life when you're so invested in destroying your health with alcohol and late nights and shit food. So this is the happiest and healthiest I've ever been, right? And so I'm naturally spending like my full time, like I don't have a job, right? My job is literally to be on self-improvement, to learn these things, to use them and make progress, and then to just teach you what worked in a way that you understand. It's kind of a nice job to have, isn't it? Very quick plug. Let me just plug something, right? If you're interested in that business model where I'm on self-improvement full time, I just improve my life, learn what really works, and then teach you what works. This exact business model is what I teach inside of Adonis School. It's the top link in the description. Sorry for the plug, but it's just for any entrepreneurs out there. This is a fantastic, beautiful business model. Think about, for the last few years, my full-time job has been to be on self-improvement. That means that I can go out there and really like investigate the things that improve your testosterone, like the ones that really, really help. And I can come to you, like, and not just testosterone, but every area of life, and then come to you with like a distilled, synthesized plan that you can just take. I've spent, hours and hours, tens of hours on this topic, maybe close to 100 hours on the topic of testosterone and sperm, and your diet for testosterone, your exercise for testosterone, the mindset, all these things, and I can put it into like a 2-hour video for you. I track my sleep and everything. This is the Whoop band. But one of the things is that since I'm quite extreme with this, I've been trying to get my family onto this, and my mum has been the hardest person because she's a little bit stubborn when it comes to things like of cooking. So, I'll mention something that she shouldn't be using anymore. Like she'll literally use like seed oils, like sunflower oil or anything for the eggs and stuff, and it'll be heated as well. And for me, obviously, we use like the normal, healthy, full-fat butter. And she's always been a bit harder to convert into like the recent, like the health things that I'm learning. Apart from recently, and there was this one moment when she's making my eggs, and she already knows, like, so she makes my 6 eggs or 8 eggs every single day for me. I have 8 eggs a day, by the way. We'll explain why that's like literally such an easy testosterone hack soon. But she makes my 8 eggs, uses the full fat butter. She knows exactly which one to buy because even some of the full fat butters still have rapeseed oil and all this other bullshit in, so she knows exactly the one that I eat, and she'll particularly go and buy that for me. And I'd just say to her, like, you care about your health, don't you? And she almost looks a little bit guilty, but she goes like, yeah, like, I watch those like doctor shows on TV and stuff. I was like, then why don't you start to eat more like me? You want to improve your health, don't you? And then straight away, she's like, for the first time ever, she starts getting enthusiastic, and she was like, yeah, like, we shouldn't be eating these other things. And she points towards like the oils that she usually cooks food in, seed oils and all this other just like dirty shit, which, like, it's just what, like, chances are your parents probably use the exact same thing because they've been fed the lie that they should use plant oils, like a plant butter. In the UK, we have this scam company which is called like Flora or some shit. It's like, I can't believe it's not butter or some bullshit like that, where it's literally just made with like seed oils, but it looks like it's butter, but it's not, because it's just made with fucking like oils that are actually bad for you. And I start to tell her that, and it's this one question that changes it all. We're talking about the modern day where, like, fat doctors are telling you not to eat butter and everything, fucking fat doctors. And I just say to her, like, were your parents healthy? And she goes, yes. My father, even when he was really, really old, he used to walk around like this. She's like imitating him. He used to walk around like this, like, he was like healthy. He had good posture and everything, and my mother and everything. And both of them have passed away. And I said, well, what did they eat? Did they use that? And I'm pointing to like this plastic carton of sunflower oil. No, they used ghee. They use like the real natural stuff. Ghee is like, you can almost say it's like an Asian, like South Asian butter, ghee. All the brown people watching this are like, oh, Hamza ne ghee ke? Oh, la, la. Ghee is like a brown person butter. In the UK, you have, in white countries, you have butter. In brown countries, we have ghee. It's kind of, like, you can say it's kind of similar. You use it for the same things. And she was like, no, like, they use ghee. This oil stuff wasn't around back then. You wouldn't really cook with oils those days. And then she just started thinking to herself, and she was like, she almost smiled, and she went, oh, yes, I'll use ghee. Like, she's probably just remembering, like, how her father was, like, really healthy. And it really made me happy to see that. And then I started to tell her even more, like, you know, my family know how serious I'm getting. They genuinely know that I don't touch plastics. My sister takes the piss because she'll grab something with plastic, fuck off. But even, like, my mom started to buy a bunch of, like, glass Tupperware and, glass containers or something so we can put stuff in. And when she'll buy something, which, you know, she's in the habit of buying this thing, like, you know, Greek yogurt, but it's in like a plastic casing. When I mention it, she'll literally look a little bit guilty, and she'll be like, oh, yeah. Oh, next time I'll go and see if they've got, like, I think there's a glass one they've got, actually. I'll go and get that one next time. So I know that was like a little bit of just an off tangent, but there's so many lessons we can pick out with that one conversation I had with my mother. First and foremost, honestly, what's more important than all this, which is a really wholesome message that I'm really proud to pass on to, is we're making huge progress in our lives by being on self-improvement. And like, not to sound like boastful, but you're really getting like good education here on my channel, on every other channel that you watch, which is to do with, you know, self-improvement. Your parents probably aren't getting this kind of education. Your parents have probably gotten the old, like, you know, like the Matrix education that fat in your diet is bad for them, that they should eat low-fat diet, which naturally means they should eat higher sugar, that, you know, their fat doctors is convincing them that they've got like too high cholesterol and all this stuff. So your parents probably aren't being blessed by self-improvement advice. You know, your parents are probably not watching my videos, right? Maybe it could be a part of your responsibility to be like a little bit of a leader and to pass on some of the things that you're learning onto them. To just mention how much you care about your health and you want them to improve their health. And, you know, you can just ask them the same question. Do you care about your health? Do you want to improve it? And your parents would probably say, like, yes. And so the way that I do it, which is kind of manipulative, but I kind of like slightly lie to my mom, like kind of. And I always say to, like, you know, the kind of manipulative words, I say like, and you know, every doctor online is saying this these days, that yeah, fat's actually healthy for us. And all the doctors online are saying that plastics are really bad and we should use glass. And she's like looking proper serious. She's like, all the doctors are saying, like, there's like one doctor who's based online who's saying it, but I'm like, yeah, all the doctors are saying that we shouldn't use plastics anymore. And my mom was like, oh, all the doctors are saying that. Okay. Because if I just say like, oh yeah, well, you know, like, here's my advice, I'm a guy in a bathrobe, but your son is in a bathrobe, she's not going to believe me, is she? So you can use that to just help your parents. That was a quick side note. If you want to help your parents as an actionable step, which honestly I really do think you should at least try to save one person from the modern day. As an actionable step, you can just use manipulation to help them, which is, you know, it sounds kind of weird, but I really do think it's for the greater good. For parents especially, when you say something like, all the doctors are saying this online, every doctor's saying this online, you'll literally be twice as likely to convince your parents and to convert them into following the way of Adonis, and soon they'll be like watching my videos on the big screen.